So it's been quite some time since I've done a video on this channel, updated or anything like that, but I've been kind of busy trying to get my own situation worked on, trying to get myself in a better place, and just trying to move forward, stay focused, and get ahead of things and get out of what situation I was that I left out on the last video and through the whole video series that I was doing when I was in that situation. I'm trying not to remember that situation or anything like that, but I wanted to update a video and show where I'm at now and let everybody know, hey, don't give up. I know people say that, and they say, stay focused, do this, do that. You got to tell yourself that every day. You just got to remember that, and you can get out of it. So many people. One thing that I've learned is that for my situation and my experiences, nobody's there for you. They all tell you those situations, and they say, just stay focused. Things will get better. Things will look bad now. It's all bullshit. Don't believe it. It's all crap. The only one that can make it happen is you. I've been good. January of this year, this year in general started out pretty slow, and I bounced back in January. I kind of moved around a lot. I was off and on living in my truck up until January of this year. Last year and towards the end of last year, I was back and forth staying in a motel room. I was working, but I'd stay in a motel room, and I'd stay in my truck a couple nights as I could afford it, and I'd move around. Then when the temp job ended, I would have to move to places where I could afford to go, and I'd be close to work, and I'd move around from there. One thing that helped was those stimulus checks. In fact, in January, I was in a shelter in Miami, and I moved out of there as soon as I got that last stimulus check. I was gone, but I was working, and that temp job ended, but I moved on to another job real quick, and I've been at that job ever since. In fact, I got hired on. I've been hired on full time for 2 months. Been living in the place I'm at now for 6 months now, and it's going great. Things are improving. I since junked that truck. Well, I sold it. It had a mechanical failure on it that I didn't think I was going to be able to get fixed anytime soon, and there's no point in keeping it around. Plus, I needed that money anyway, so I junked it, got a good price for it, and moved forward. But I haven't given up on this whole thing that I started when I was thinking about it and my situation and everything like that when I was in the shelter and everything, about how people just don't get any assistance from the federal, state, or local government or anything. Nobody tries to help them. When you're in shelters, they want you to get a job, but when you get a job, they try to make it hard for you to go there. They put these restrictions on, they put these time frames on. You got to get things from your case manager, or you got to get it from the security, or you got to have these passes, and they make it difficult for you in hopes that you get the job, and they want to know where you're working, they want to know all your business, and they want to try and ruin things for you. And they're getting a fortune off of everybody that's in there, and they're not doing a damn thing for people. Now, some people may have benefited from these shelters. I'm just speaking of my situation, my experience that I've seen them in, and none of them did anything damn good for them. I focused on myself. I didn't go to them for help. I focused on my own thing. My thing was to get out of my situation, get working, get money, and get out of there. And I've been doing good ever since. And in fact, things are improving each week, each day. Things are getting better and better. One thing I do want to say is, if you do have a phone or anything like that, a lot of things, when I was in a shelter in 2019, before I ended up living in my vehicle, that's a whole story. But go through my videos and watch those, and you'll see the whole sequence of my daily thing and what went through there and the whole story, most of it anyway. The one thing that I saw when I was in that one shelter was how staff just didn't help people. It was just a waste of time. All they wanted to know was, are you looking for work? Are you saving your money? And that was it. That's all they wanted to know. They weren't there to try to help anybody. They had a lab, and it's just ridiculous. And I saw all this and how people were, and a lot of people really were trying. They were being held back by the system, and no matter what they did, they couldn't get any help from the system. They couldn't get any help from anybody, and they were basically just left abandoned. That's how it was for me in 2020, especially when COVID hit. I was left abandoned in a parking lot. I was lucky enough to have a vehicle to live in, but when all the stores closed down and everything was shut down, I couldn't get in a shelter. I couldn't get help from anybody. Nobody wanted to be bothered because they were saying COVID, COVID, COVID. This is when it just started and stuff, and I couldn't get any help. So just imagine that kind of situation. People were complaining because they were isolated at home for a month, and complaining they couldn't go out and stuff like that, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. Well, imagine being in my situation, or imagine being in somebody's situation where they're sleeping in a tent by a lake or something like that, and you're complaining because you're stuck in the apartment for a month. So just those little things, but yeah, I'm doing better now. I'm doing great, but stay focused. One thing I do want to mention is technology. Learn technology. If you have a phone, learn those apps. Get those apps. They save you money, like McDonald's. I always use the McDonald's app. Sometimes you get a free one, or if somebody gave me a few bucks, sometimes people would, because I was staying near McDonald's. So I was in the parking lot, and sometimes people would buy me something from the McDonald's, or when I got a little bit extra money or something like that. If I started GoFundMe's, they didn't seem to work. I tried all this kind of stuff, but it was during the pandemic, in the height of the pandemic, when everything was going, haywire. But people were giving money, so they were online. I'd start a fund, or through PayPal. Get yourself a PayPal account. It's free, and I would get that. People would send me money on that. Not a lot. Sometimes $10, $15, $20, or something like that. And I would try to put gas in the truck, just to keep some gas in the truck in case I had to move or something like that. I put $5 or $10 in, just to keep it up around a quarter and stuff like that, and try to keep it running in case I had to move around and stuff like that, or I had to go for somewhere and do something. But the apps that I had, that the McDonald's app, the one app that I had, would get me a cup of coffee every morning. Any size, 99 cents. It would be $1.06. So I'd go in there, and sometimes I'd get me a breakfast sandwich or something like that. But it was something that I looked forward to every day, was at least getting that cup of coffee, to be able to sit in McDonald's when we were allowed back in, to go in there. When they shut the McDonald's down, they were only doing the drive-through during COVID. But I survived all that. I got through hell, and it's all in my videos with that. But the thing about technology is learn the Wi-Fi, because a lot of times people would say, I was sitting in a spot where I'm good with technology. In fact, I've got a page going, and that's what I want to do. I want to try and show people that are in a bad situation, that don't know technology, how to use technology to their advantage, and get some basic skills on technology, learn computers, learn cell phone, and stuff like that, and help themselves improve their situation, get out of their situation, and be better off doing stuff on their own. The place that I was parked, I was able to get a free Wi-Fi. It's late. It's Friday night here. I had a long work week, and I'm kind of tired, but I want to try and get this through. But I was parked in a spot where I can get Wi-Fi off of one of the buildings, and it was a great spot. And I was able to get Wi-Fi all the time. And when I was doing them videos, the older videos, people would ask me, well, how are you on YouTube? How are you on Facebook? I'm not on Facebook anymore. I deleted that a while ago. But how are you on YouTube? How are you on Facebook and stuff like that? How do you have a phone and stuff like that if you have no money and you're in that situation? Well, these are the kind of situations I want to bring to you and help you learn these kind of things, because what they don't understand is, because I was in that situation, apparently up until that point, I never owned a phone. I never owned a laptop. I never knew anything about Wi-Fi. I didn't know anything about that. That's what these responses were coming at me and stuff like that. And they were asking these stupid questions, but they wouldn't give me anything to my GoFundMe at the time, and I gave up on GoFundMe too. That seems to be a waste of time for people too. But I was getting a great Wi-Fi signal, so I was able to use that. I was able to make phone calls via a Wi-Fi app that I downloaded and found, and I could make phone calls over the Wi-Fi. I would have to connect to my phone. So no big deal. I would just attach my phone number to that, and I would get phone calls. I would be able to make phone calls using Wi-Fi. These are the little things that I want to get out to people that are in a situation, and even help people get phones. Get them off the street and stuff like that. Help each other out. The only way you're going to get help, honestly, and a lot of people know it, and a lot of you people know it, that may be in a homeless situation or anything like that, or in a bad situation, the only ones that are going to help you, the only ones that are going to help us in that situation, or each other. We have to stick together. We have to look out for each other, because we're the ones out there living it every day. These people that are in these office buildings and stuff like that, they don't know, they don't care, and they just want you out of their area. They don't want you in that area no more. And here's what almost happened during COVID. When COVID was happening, a lot of people were, and they're still worried about it, not being able to pay their rent. A lot of them were being evicted. They were being thrown out because they fell behind on their rent. Whatever situation. I'm not happy about that situation, because I don't know their situation, and nobody should be put in that situation. But now they're starting to find out, hey, this could happen to me. This is happening to me. I'm being put out on the street. I got nowhere to go. And motels are expensive. Shelters are not going to help you. I've been there, done that. Churches are not going to help you. They never got back to me. The police ain't going to help you. In fact, they're going to try to arrest you. They're going to make your life hell. Now, where I was staying, the local police were nice. They knew I was there every day, spent the night. I was out of the way, away from the stores and stuff like that. And I was tucked in a little corner in the parking lot where I could see everything going on, but I spent the night there. Every night, I basically lived there every single night. And what I would do is I would walk to a store, a local Publix when it was open before the COVID. I would take my laptop over there. I would try to study. I would do jobs, apply for jobs every single day. I would hit every single day. Then at night, I would go to a FedEx place, and I'd sit there. That's how I would kill my day. Because it would get me outside. It would get me into AC all day. And they were both nice. They would let me sit, the stores would let me sit in there. The Publix would let me sit there all day. I had a little corner I would sit in. And in the front there, customers even started talking to me and stuff like that. And I had people, one woman in there that worked for a distributor on the weekend would come in and she'd give me samples and stuff. And she would help me out. Even on Christmas, she invited me over a coworker's house for Christmas, and she let me do my laundry there at her place, let me shower at her place and stuff like that, and that was really nice of her to do that. So I along the way I had some people that helped me and do little things that got me through that day or maybe that week or something like that that helped and stuff like that. But my premise now, like I said, I have it. I'll put the link in the video and stuff like that. So go ahead and subscribe to it. If you have any questions about tech or anything like that, how to get this, or just questions in overall on my experience through homelessness, what I did to get out of it, how I can help you. I may not be able to help you in a big way or anything like that, but I can make some suggestions. Or if you want me to research something and put it in the links in the video that maybe you're looking for somebody, or you don't know how to set up a Facebook page, or maybe you don't know how to set up a Gmail. These are things that I saw in my experience when I was in that first shelter in 2019. People didn't know how to do resumes or anything like that, and nobody would help them. Everybody was in there either watching YouTube or they were doing this or doing that. Nobody had time to help anybody because for whatever reason they figure, well, I'm in this situation, this situation, and nobody's helping me. That's a bullshit thing to think, man. We're all in that situation together. And I could have very easily thought I was better than them because how did I end up in this situation? I'm smart. I've always had great skills and stuff like that. And here I am on the same level as these guys. And I got out of it real quick. So if you have any questions or comments, put them in the video below. And don't be afraid to ask or anything like that. Don't be afraid to share your story and say, hey, this is where I'm at. This who didn't help me. This didn't. Because they're not going to help you. I may not be able to help you in the best way or anything like that, but I can at least share my story with you. I can help you do research or anything like that, set up a Gmail, set up a Facebook, if you want to set up a Twitter, if you want to set up a YouTube or anything like that, if you want to do anything, if you want to do your story on YouTube or anything like that. Basically, you want to learn technology. Even the basics of technology, you want to learn that and get out there and get on these social media sites and look for things that do this and contact these people and make it go viral. Somebody may help you. Somebody may contact you. Somebody may be looking for you or something like that, or somebody may be able to help you or hire you or something like that. Try to stay positive with it. Don't be negative, cursing or anything like that, because they look at that and say, well, this person's angry. Yes, I was angry too. That's why I did it in my videos. And at times I did do it. I had a separate Twitter page when I was trying to raise money and everything like that. So I came up with these brand names and stuff like that, trying to be an entrepreneur and trying to create something and try to build and everything like that to try to get the word out and stuff like that. I came across a whole lot of things, a whole lot of nonsense, a whole lot of no, can't help you, sorry, I can't help you, hope your situation improves and stuff like that. I don't want to hear that, okay? That doesn't help me. And when I hear those things, I'd rather you just not say anything to me. So, but like I said, it's Friday night here. It's not really late, but I'm tired. I had a rough day, and I try to stay up late. I try to do some studying and stuff like that. That's the thing I keep pushing. I keep pushing that. Learn technology. If you want to learn how to learn technology or anything like that, if you've never thought about it or anything like that, learn the basics and stuff. Certification, maybe getting into a program or something like that to learn technology. But even if you know the basics of technology, it could really help you out there, and it could really maybe help your situation, get you out of that situation, and get you in contact with somebody that may be able to help you and get you out of it and get you into a better situation with jobs or anything like that. Maybe a lost family member or something like that that don't know where you're at or can't contact you or anything like that. Anything like that. The best thing is if you go to the library and try to do that, library's not going to help you. They want you to pay money. You can go on the computer in there. By the way, I'm in South Florida. So, but if you're anywhere in the country, I don't know what your states are like or what your areas are, but technology is technology anywhere. And I can tell you how to basically get the technology, learn it. I keep pushing that, learn the technology, the very basics of technology for that kind of stuff. COVID's almost over. The stimulus checks are gone. They're not going to do that no more. They're done with that. That last one that we got, I think in January it was, or February of this year or something like that, the last one that we got, they're done with that. They're not going to do it no more. They don't even talk about it anymore. In fact, they're pushing now more and more to inject medicine into us, inject this into us with the masks and stuff like that. This is going to be here for the rest of the year. It's going to be here to the middle of next year and stuff like that. And they're going to keep using that excuse. Shelters going to keep using that excuse. How many people know of going to shelters, knew there were beds, and they were told that we don't have any beds, we don't have any beds, we don't have any beds. They told you that even before COVID. Now they have this legitimate excuse, well, we're looking out for the best of our residents. They're not looking out for anybody. All they're doing is looking out for themselves. They're paid either way. They're sitting on hundreds of thousands of dollars that they get off a year back and free money and stuff like that. I've come across CEOs of nonprofits. One CEO is making $300,000 a year salary. This is a nonprofit CEO, but making $300,000 a year. That's more than politicians make. That's more than Congress makes. And not doing anything for anybody. There was another one making $247,000 a year, I think it was. And she would preach on Twitter the whole time about how she's doing this. You're not doing a damn thing. There was another one that finally came out and said it, that said, well, it's not fair to us, so we have to shut our doors and close our business. That's exactly what it is. You're a nonprofit. Your job, your existence is to end homelessness, not to collect it as a business. That's what they look at. And I ripped into them too. I ripped into all of them and stuff like that. And a lot of people started clicking like, a lot of people started following me and stuff like that because they knew I was right. So learn the technology. Hit me up on here in the comments. If you're looking for something, share your story or anything like that. Don't hold back. And like I said, if there's something you don't know about technology or something you want to look into or anything like that, technology, cybersecurity, networking, anything like that, it's a big, big, big industry. Even the basics, like I said, if you're sitting somewhere and you're trying to find you don't know how to find a Wi-Fi system, or your phone has issues or something like that, I can go through that with you or something like that, or maybe on the weekend or something like that. If you're in the South Florida area, close by or something, maybe we can meet up and I can go over that stuff with you. If you have a laptop and you're carrying it around or something like that, maybe I can help you with that and get that set up, get it running, get it safe to where you can have it running to the optimum that you need it to be running to. So enjoy your weekend, stay safe out there, and look me up on here.